Happy Saturday, you all. I am Adina. You guys are Beyond the Veil. Welcome to you all who are watching me for the first time, and welcome back to all of you who are subscribers in return, visitors and viewers. Blessings to you on this Saturday, day of Saturn. It's cold, dreary, windy here in Florida. The sun is not shining where I am. It's windy. It's nasty outside, and somebody got on my nerves first thing this morning. Loves to try my patience. So I'm trying to shake that funk off of me. Before I start feeling like not having patience. These days I've been feeling a lack of patience, and I don't know if that's where I'm supposed to be or if I'm supposed to work through that. But I don't have time for anybody or anything that is not for the greater good of all involved parties. And I would like to carry this energy with me all year, but I feel like it'll rub a lot of people the wrong way if I don't employ the patience that people usually ascribe me to. Anyways, I'm not feeling it today. I want to talk about the fires in California, Los Angeles, and the surrounding areas. Before I do this, I'd like to first start with giving my condolences to anybody that's been affected. I'm not going to sit in the seat of judgment about the fact that these are very rich or wealthy people who have seemed to be affected. Not my place. However, I do have some ideas about the conveniences of these fires affecting these people. Anyways, I'm going to do a reading on it, see what the spirits have to say about it, and then let it be that. But I like to approach it
now that we've explored both Sufi
with an oracle card, and I'd like to start by giving a message from the divine about the situation. Most High Mother and Father God, thank you for this Saturday. Thank you for life and breath in my body. Thank you for YouTube for giving us a platform to convene together. Thank you for this gift that you've given me. Spirit, the west side of America, California, is on fire, or specifically LA. I've seen in the comment sections a lot of people say that the fires are relegated to Hollywood Hills, the part where the celebrities reside, not where the everyday people live. I've seen that in the comments, and I've seen people commenting. I don't know if they're from California, if they're real, or if they're bots, but they're saying worst case for them is the smoke that they inhale, but those are the celebrity or rich areas that are being affected. Nevertheless, Spirit, can you give me a message about the fires in California? Is this just a matter of nature running its course, as we know that California is prone to earthquakes and wildfires? Is this an arson? Was this man-made? If so, why? What message, Spirit, do you have to give us about the fires taking place in California currently? Spirit, can you give me one oracle card message about the fires in California? Show the world the real you. Full moon in Aquarius. As we know, we're in the age of Aquarius starting November 19th, when Pluto moved fully into Aquarius for its final descent into Aquarius. It won't be retrograding back into Capricorn anymore. We won't see Capricorn again for the next 230 something years. This seems to be a fire that is impacting majorly celebrities. That's obvious, but that is the message. Show the world the real you. Now, for the first time, we are seeing celebrities in a more human way. Usually, disasters happen around the world, and the celebrity world is the one who rallies together with their perfectly PR curated statements about, prayers for this place, prayers for these people. They like to, put on airs that they're being really charitable and humane. But now it seems like celebrities are being humbled, and now they're expecting us to rally around and send our prayers and support for them. However, this card gives me an element of exposure. Rather, it's them being exposed to the fact that they too are human, and are subject to nature, as celebrities can sometimes take on a God complex. In another physical, mundane way, I think that things that were hidden in those Hollywood hills and in those richly guarded areas, there are a lot of secrets in those hills and in those homes. And I think a lot of those secrets will be exposed or laid bare. Don't let pride get in your way. Full moon in Leo. This is a fire sign card. The sun, Leo, fire sign. This seems to have been a humbling experience for these people, if nothing else. And it's meant to be a humbling experience, if nothing else, from the divine. Give me, Spirit, a tarot card to expound or clarify on this message about the wildfires taking place in California right now. Themes of community, very Aquarian elements are being brought forth due to this wildfire. Community, network, spirituality. I saw Nick Cannon praying to Jesus on Instagram and things like that. I've noticed that celebrities are getting on the Jesus wave very much so these days, in a way where that hasn't been. And it has been intentional to not be on the Jesus wave. They promoted so many various occult systems and belief systems. But it seems like in the age of Aquarius, when the Piscean age ends, which is the age of Christianity, an age where people are starting to free themselves from indoctrinized religion and getting into more authentic forms of spirituality. Now there's a concerted effort to herd back into religion. Spirit, what is this? Show the world the real you. Give me one tarot card to clarify this message and expound on it as well. About the fires, the wildfires taking place in California. Page of Swords in reverse. This fell on the floor. The Lovers in reverse. Both of these are air sign cards. The Lovers is a Gemini card. I'm going to say from the bottom of the deck that I do believe that there have been reports of arson, of at least one of these fires being started by someone. That is true. these arsons were supposed to affect who they're affecting. I believe that there might have been some sort of consideration about the innocents that might be affected. But this definitely was supposed to target celebrity locations, I believe. The Page of Swords in reverse is the card that I flipped, though. Why did I flip that? Ace of Swords in reverse. Eight of Wands. The Hierophant in reverse. I believe that those fires were started. Now, when I saw the Page of Swords in reverse, I thought distraction about what? But not just distraction. Things that can no longer be looked into. Things that can no longer be found legally. Charges that may not be able to be filed or stick now because evidence is destroyed. Locations are destroyed. Ace of Swords in reverse. I do believe that I do see that there may be cover-up deaths. I'm not saying there may be some cover-up or deaths. I see that here in the cards. Just let me collect my vision. These fires were started on purpose. I see locations in the hills, in the woods, in the groves, temples, underground tunnels, caves, houses that were destroyed because of what took place there. I see some kind of spiritual centers or communities where rituals take place. Multiple places in the hills where rituals take place have been known to take place forever. Places where parties were held, rituals were held, coven locations. I see all kinds of Hollywood debauchery being burned. In my mind, I see creatures fleeing from the fires, creatures that celebrities entertain, that live in the hills and the caves and the tunnels and stuff. I see a one more card, Spirit. One more card for this oracle message. King of Wands. The fire was started by someone who intended to start a big fire. This is not natural disaster. This is a man-made disaster. And I think that regular people or innocent people, I'll say people that weren't in mind when the fires were started, It seems like regular people, not celebrity people, are giving stories and things about things that are happening there on social media. I think that's how we found out that the fires were arson and not natural. I think that these fires were started because it has something to do with court proceedings, evidence. With the Diddy trial going on and whatever other entity takedowns they are going on in the industry and abroad, I definitely believe that these fires had something to do with people that are being targeted and taken down in the industry by the legal and justice system. All right. Spirit, it seems like these fires were started intentionally. Will you allow me to conjure up the energy of these fires? Why? Why are these fires in California going on? Did someone start them for nothing? Just, for whatever reasons? Again, Ace of Swords, I believe these have everything to do with legal proceedings. Either one's going on now, one's in the past, and one's that could come in the future. Get rid of all the evidence, because those hills were filled with secrets and evidence, I believe. Spirit, what is the energy? What is the spirit behind these fires in California? Please allow me to be a worthy vessel to divine and see into those matters as if I were there in rooms where secrets were being told, where plans were being kept or laid out. The fires in LA, Spirit, they seem to have been arsons. Why? Judgments. There are judgments that could come down, that may come down in the future, that could affect a lot of those people that live in those areas. Many of these people, I believe, were caught up in the web of Hollywood shenanigans that is currently on trial. Hollywood, the industries are on trial by nature, carried out by man. Ever since the Pope opened those doors, the spiritual battle has begun. We have real beings on earth, from under the earth, from under the sea, from in the air, that have now decided to land on earth now to intervene. Because the forces that these people sacrifice to are the beings that also already lived on this earth and that promised them the wealth and the power. But time is up and a holy war is being waged on earth. For one, I don't solicit my prayers for anybody unless I choose to. My prayers cost because they're effective. I pray for who I want to. So I'm not going to be pulled into the whole pray for LA, pray for Hollywood. My prayers are for the world and the earth to be restored to balance. But if you like my personal prayer, you got to call me and get a consultation. But I'm not praying for these people. My life as a regular person is hard enough as it is. And I'm not saying I don't empathize, but this is a spiritual battle that these people are caught up in. And I've mentioned this in a video before, and maybe only to my members in one of my members only readings, but I'm not getting caught up in this holy war. My side is on the righteous side, the side of nature, God's natural law. And in order for that to be restored, this shit has to go down. Because the people that have been hoarding power and wealth from the world seem to be being demanded now to give it back. and they're fighting for it. So I'm not going to stand with them when nature is demanding them release all the power that they've held for themselves so that us regular people can have a better quality of life. This seems to be that. These were people in the hills that were targeted, I believe, for what they're involved in and what's in those areas, what's in those Hollywood hills that are burning, under the grounds, in those houses, the well-connected system of houses connected by caves, tunnels, and all kinds of things. Rituals are taking place. I did a reading on my membership channel last night about whether there are any or were ever any celebrity serial killers. And that's going to take me down a rabbit hole because I saw that there were some in the past and there are some now, and I want to find out who they are. LA is a world of its own. It seems like they are being called to judgment. There is a higher purpose for these fires and the people who are being affected. I'll just say that much. I believe that there are judgments that could be pronounced against all of them, especially if the feds do a sweep on a bunch of celebrities' houses. Now that they got Diddy files and raided his house and saw some things based on what has already been common knowledge for the legal system. Think about CIA documents and what we find out about them from the past when we get access to them now, what the CIA knows goes on. There seems to be a rounding up of these celebrities, and these celebrities are also trying to save themselves from being rounded up and judged spiritually and physically in the courts of laws. In those hills and in those fires, things were destroyed. Things that were good, things that were not so good. You know, when you're running a shiesty business and you find out that the feds are coming and everybody in the office knows to start wiping computers and shredding documents, that's what this fire was. Wiping computers and shredding documents. I believe that there would have been a moment where a lot of people's houses could be ransacked by government entities. And there's tons of evidence in those homes and in those houses. There were tangible goods that could be accumulated from those houses that could link. See what they found in Diddy's house? Makes them curious about the whole system, the whole Hollywood system. I believe that there could have been a potential for a lot more celebrities to go down and their houses to be raided. Past legal accusations. I believe this has something to do with various legal situations going on, public and behind out of the public's eye. This is a spiritual battle being played out in 3D. I've said this in many videos in the past few days. There is nothing that I can see more clear than this spiritual battle playing out right now. Near future death. There were casualties with this fire. There may be some more before all is said and done. Someone, a celebrity, someone of notoriety may have to go. I see the Grim Reaper coming. Lives were casualties, I believe, next from the fire where we will hear about the casualties, the lives that were lost. But this is a point of no return. Something else about money, debt. I can't imagine how much in damages were done by this fire. There's some money going on here too with this death card. I see the Pope. The holy doors that were opened, the ritual that was done to open those holy doors on the winter solstice isn't done. On this card, there's a Pope welcoming this rider of death. I believe that the holy war ritual being done at the Vatican, I believe, allegedly, is still taking place. This is a major ritual that is supposed to bring forth a major deity, a being, one that this Pope allegedly and whomever is under the order of this Black Pope, this being is the one that they worship, the God of this world, they believe. They are trying to usher him in. But before the king comes in, his legion does. And so the uprising and violences around the world and chaos since Christmas, since the opening of these doors, is the legion coming in before the main deity arrives through the portal. Sacrifices, mass sacrifices are being carried out for this deity, for this being. All the bombings, the car blow up in front of Trump Towers, New Orleans, the fires and whatever casualty, the darkness that has been unleashed upon this world when these doors were opened by the Vatican. The dark spirits that have been unleashed, bloodthirsty spirits. They come for chaos and blood and death and destruction. The rider approaches, and the powers that be of this world will continue chanting and doing whatever it takes to bring this being forward. The closer it gets to coming through the portal, the more uprisings and energy on the world we'll see. It's not over. I believe a lot of these celebrities could have been rounded up and cased up in legal situations, and their homes searched and evidence found. I believe that that was the intention of a power that be, probably one who has recently gotten close to the White House and now has access to the legal system and its systems, the FBI, the CIA, and all of that. This person was on a hunt for evidence in those hills. And I believe due to the fires being started intentionally for the sole purpose of whatever legal battle is going on, that's really a spiritual battle, but it's taking place on earth, so it takes place in physical means like court battles and things like that. I don't believe the person who did this will be charged, and if they are, their intentions, their true intentions won't be known. But I believe the person that did this is on the side of the celebrities. Burn this down so that we all don't go down. We'll be okay. We got several other homes. I believe that these are two forces at war with each other, possibly that could have worked together before, but now are at odds now that there is a new leader sitting on the throne. This is war. Hopes and fears is that, for one, now that the fire has destroyed a bunch of stuff, the people that benefit from the fires, and I know saying this sounds horrible and emotionless, and again, I'm sorry for the innocent people that were affected by this, but I'm not the one who started these allegedly in order to destroy things that could have taken me down, and taken into consideration innocent lives, but did it anyway as a sacrifice. So I'm not the one. So don't be mad at the messenger. The hope, though, is that this is one of those disasters that is just an unfortunate event, and that society moves past it. We work together as a community, band together, move past it. In doing that, though, case closed. These people might get away with certain things that the fire was intended to help them get away with the help of the community, making sure that they are cemented as victims. That's why I'm saying I'm not joining together and issuing prayers and God bless anyone, because I don't know if this was a God-sent attack. I do believe so. So no, I'm not going against God when God sent this attack. I'm going to watch from the sidelines and give you guys the play-by-play. I don't worship humans, and I don't worship celebrities. Their hope is that they can move past this. The people come together and move past this, mourn the celebrities, and that whatever evidence or whatever cases that might have come up against them won't be able to stick now that a lot of evidence is gone. That's in the hopes and fears. Not so fast, though. These fires took on a life of their own. I believe that the outcome will be that we will collectively, our collective conscious will agree that these fires were not started accidentally. There may be a time where the mainstream media might try to fight back and say, no, these were unfortunate events. But I don't believe that they were. I believe that they took on a life of their own. I don't believe that it was intended to grow that big, but that was definitely something that I think was thought of, and it was just like, well, we got to do it. We have to do this. Otherwise, there's no other way we can get out of this. I'm interested to see what kind of endeavors are taken in order to collect money and support and resources for the affected. Watch out for any schemes to take donations for these people. I don't believe in stuff like that all the time. This seems to be a fire that majorly and mostly affected rich celebrities, rich and wealthy celebrity-like people. I don't think the general public will ever take this laying down. There will always be conversations about this being arson and why. And that why is because to protect these people and to destroy legal evidence that would take them down. Some people's houses were designed specifically for the Hollywood debauchery and lifestyle. You can't clean that up. It's not something that you can hide when you find out that the police are coming by to take a look around, and you can just hide all your kinks and toys and stuff. There are some people's houses houses that were walking evidentiary structures. Those houses had to go. Locations that are hubs for certain activities. Let's all meet up at this house because it's the hub for this activity, or it's the main tunnel entrance that leads to, oh man, listen. Death in the near future. Fire in Hollywood. The Lovers reversed. Three of Wands. Interesting. I believe there are going to be some media outlets or media personalities that are going to want to expose the true dealings in Hollywood and these fires and what's going on, boots on the ground. There's a lot of tea being spilled. If you're there. I believe that in the future, people are going to talk about how these fires started and how they can relate to the Diddy trials and the Diddy files. Again, we've heard rumors of lists being leaked similar to the Epstein flight log list of Diddy, and evidence and who it can affect. I believe that people will be drawing correlations between the Diddy situation, the fires, and the celebrities that it affected. I believe that there was evidence in those houses, or those houses were evidence themselves. Something to do with caves, something to do with tunnels, underground things. I see Trump here. Trump knows all about what goes on in those hills, what goes on in Hollywood. Trump knows why the fires are firing. He knows because these are people he used to hang around before he decided to become a politician. Judgment. I believe that this fire happening now, it might be some difficulties in them finding evidence. I believe a testimony, maybe Cassie's testimony and the things that she shared, built up the state's or the justice system's bigger case. And it implicated a lot more people and a lot more things than just Diddy, parties, and abuse. I believe that Cassie and her testimony played a major part in other celebrities subsequently being investigated for things. I believe that her testimony about things that she participated in, partook in, saw over the time with Diddy, and how deep down the rabbit hole that goes, is why the feds were eyeballing other celebrities in their homes. This could have been a major, major takedown, and it probably still will be. But at least some evidence now is gone. Just in closing, I believe that these fires and the people that they affected, like the celebrities, the fact that it was done in celebrity-heavy locations, have a lot to do with evidence in their homes, evidence in the neighborhoods that they lived in, under the grounds, and things like that. And I'm not just talking about pictures and things like that. Rooms, dungeons. These locations are old and have been in Hollywood and used by Hollywood for a long time. It's a treasure trove of debauchery and secrets. We will see so many more things come from this, but because this is a battle taking place, a spiritual battle take place, things will get worse before they get better, because there are people that are trying to are not trying to be taken down, when on a divine level, these things are being called into place. Meaning, if the divine says you guys need to be taken down, they'll be taken down, but that doesn't mean that they won't fight. They won't go without a fight. My advice is for all of us to disconnect. I've been saying this for about a year now, since last New Year. Disconnect from celebrity culture, please. I said it last year. I don't know if you guys took heed to me. I'm saying it again this year. Please disconnect. Tap in to your spirituality this year. It is important for your soul. Love you. Goodbye.